So politics have worked in games. I know that sounds crazy and everyone should clear their pants and get ready to listen to this. As of recent, I have been playing a lot of older game titles while seeing the new games come out with quite a few problems to say the least. Seems like every new game title has some stupid politics attached to it, in some way, shape, or form that immediately renders the title DOA. I mean, we all know the games. I'm looking at you, Concord and Dustborn. I hope you guys enjoy your special place in gaming hell where all the EA sports games are chilling with the microtransactions. However, this got my very slow brain turning, and I started to compare the newer game titles and their politics with the older ones. But I always come to the same conclusion that politics can work in games, and it's just about the way it's inputted into the game itself and has nothing to do about the politics. Even the politics I disagree with seem to have a space in certain games as long as it's built into the game and story successfully. As long as it's not put into a game like a crackhead making a kid's book, basically. Even DEI can be put into games successfully if companies actually put 2 seconds of thought and stop looking at charts Blizzard are charting like a 6-year-old with a packet of 64 crayons. It has worked in the past, so why can't companies implement it well into games anymore? And this is exactly what I plan to discuss in this video. So of course, if you like this video, do me a favor, like and subscribe, or dislike, I don't care, it's engagement I guess, and let's finally discuss where politics have worked in games. I think the best place to start this whole discussion is based on the games that have a political connotation that work very well. The biggest example I have in my head is Fallout, and yes, I know what the creator said, however, it still has its politics involved, where they show points for and against both capitalism and communism. Still, regardless of the side of the political spectrum you are on, it is implemented very well in these games. One big reason is how it works in Fallout is the fact that it is not the main plot of the Fallout games. The only part in which these political narratives start to matter is in the lore of the Fallout universe. This is so important as to not make the game sound preachier than the average church child molester. Compare that to a game like Dustborn that continues to ram a big black cock of politics down your throat for every conceivable second you play it. The politics are now not on the back burner, so now it's a preachy and pretentious, especially in how every bit of the game is formatted in a way that preaches shitty politics. However, if you want to make politics the main point of the game and want to do it well, look at a game like Road 96, a game I just finished trying to play and really enjoyed. The whole point of the game is that you try and escape your country that is in political turmoil with a corrupt leader. Throughout the game, you get to make choices lead to supporting 4 changes for the country. You can be for the state and corrupt leader, you can support the democratic side of your country and try to change the country through voting, rebel against the system completely, and finally you can be a loner and tell everyone else to go fuck themselves. The difference between Road 96 and Dustborn being that you get to make the choices based on your belief. It is way less preachy when you're the one that chooses the outcome, and Road 96 will usually compensate for whatever choices you care to make. Again, I believe this is the perfect way to format a game when you have to involve any sort of politics. Politics itself is a very difficult topic to play around with and is like playing with your grandfather who has a colostomy bag. One wrong move and that shit spews everywhere and it's hard not to pop that bag. Especially when politics is based more or less on personal opinion. But games nowadays don't try to put politics into games, but feel like they need to. Mostly so they can say,
"Oh my god, guys, we're such a nice company. We believe everyone is amazing. Even the employees are still breast milk from our break room refrigerator."
And this is the main aspect that ends up making a game that involves politics a stupid mess. Like I said earlier, games like Fallout and Road 96 tried and successfully implemented ideologies into games and it worked out well for the most part. Games like Dustbin, Concock, and Dragon Age Retard don't seem to genuinely try, so they obviously don't succeed. Speaking of these games, they also use DEI, which has also worked in games in the past. Look at this black dude.
Get that computer call. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical. What the fuck?
Is that inherently upsetting to you? I mean, if it does, then yikes, my gamer, but every normal person doesn't have a reaction to seeing a black guy. But every gaming company nowadays seems to think that everyone just straight up fears anybody that isn't white. I mean, the average defense for a modern game being bad is You're racist, bro. Check your privilege. The first thing these gaming companies need to do is take off the special needs helmets and look why people seem to hate diverse characters nowadays. Let's just take an example of Tosh from Dragon Age Failed Hard. She is the pretentious shithead of a character, always talking about her gender and just being an overall douche.
Here, vegetables. Thank you. So, I'm non-binary.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
What does that mean? It means I don't feel like a man or a woman. If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you? Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
Get the fuck up. Know your fucking place, trash.
I mean, the writers think they're making a Ryan Reynolds witty character, when in reality they're making that one girl that says she gets triggered by a door slamming too hard. Nobody likes that kind of character. But at the same time, nobody minded when Piper was bisexual in Fallout 4. Nobody minded Tony from GTA 4 either, which I will talk about a little bit more later. And nobody minded Ellie being a lesbian in The Last of Us Part 1 specifically, which if you played Last of Us Part 2, you'd understand why I specified. But either way, the easy reason is the same one I gave in the last section of this video. Don't shove it down my throat every single time I talk to the character. I shouldn't walk up to Piper in Fallout and she says,
Oh my god, I love myself some wasteland vagina.
that's the reason why DEI doesn't work in modern games, is because that big black DEI cock is being shoved down your throat. But another more surprising reason that it doesn't work is because of stereotypes, or more the lack of them. Now, stereotypes are a perfect way to get somebody to understand the basics of a character fast and get all that difficult DEI story writing out of the way. It helps make sure that writers don't use too little of their brain cells and write another terrible goddamn line. Two examples of where this has worked is in Dead Island and GTA 4, and technically 5, but there's a specific character I want to talk about, so suck my left testicle. Now, Sam B from Dead Island is a stereotypical black rapper from New Orleans, and is that the only factor to him? No, you racist fuck. He is a well-established character that has a personality outside of that stereotype. Now, because of this, Sam B is a diverse character with a somewhat understood background, but not a preachy one. He gives Sam B to most other modern studios, and he would talk about how racism is super bad and how you should single-handedly beat up a Klan member. But Dead Island 2 really kept a good character and didn't make him preachy. GTA 4 was another game with a character that was stereotyped, that character being Tony. Now, I had to censor the first word because I love YouTube and they let you say whatever you want on their platform. Anyway, he is overly stereotyped like other characters you see in GTA, but he's a charming character that works well. He can be considered offensive, which works amazingly in this case, because the people that support some of that dude-on-dude action can have a little bit of a laugh at the absurdity of the character, and if you were on the edge, well, you can laugh at the absurdity of a character. And again, this dude-on-dude action stuff is not the only part of his character, but it is much easier to build off the basic stereotypical idea than it is to try and avoid it completely and end up sounding preachy. Now, there are numerous other games that add a selection of diverse characters, even hyper-masculine games like Gears of War, where there are Mexican characters, black characters, women, and many more, and this is still a game with so much testosterone that after playing it for an hour, you can bench press Ronnie Coleman. But past that, these modern studios never seem to learn from their mistakes, but instead use their mistakes as excuses. Now, in the end, in every way you can implement politics into games, there are much better ways for modern game companies to make it work, but they never seem to learn. These companies would much rather fuck up, blame it on quite literally everyone else, than bust a fat load looking at all the hate that they build up. Funnily enough, these companies are making people more racist and hateful by making every new diverse character an utter donkey dick with almost no likable personality traits. The reason people hate to see diverse characters in new games is not because they're racist or sexist or whatever, but it's because every single time they do in this day and age, they end up making it preachy and lazy. And whenever we gamers give feedback and advice, the game companies go full Dora the Explorer, but acting like we have all the wrong answers. On top of that, you have games like Call of Duty censoring every little thing you say, or an even worse game like Valorant. You compound this utter hatred you have for new games in their entirety, whether it's single player or multiplayer, you end up struggling to believe in the game studios. It makes it hard to enjoy the new age of game releases. But either way, I know there ain't no AAA gaming studio devs that are watching this shit. They're too busy jerking it to Reddit threads and drinking breast milk. But you are watching this video, and since you made it to the end, you could have this cookie. If you are a AAA developer and made it here, you can dunk that cookie into a buttery smooth breast milk glass. Either way, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and put in the comments below what you guys think about the stuff I brought up. I'll be looking through them, of course, and blah blah blah. Either way, this is the Holy Commentator, signing out for now.